Right, you're the only person on Wi-Fi now. Okay, we got the 4G on the go. Welcome, 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 welcome. Just setting up a few things. So, ingredients we have. Come back to this again. Sweetener, hot paprika, chili powder hot, mixed herbs, 1 egg getting in the way, 1 onion getting in the way, whole black peppercorns, ground nut oil, special powder, couscous, Italian chopped tomatoes, and my burnt hand and arm from yesterday trying to film an air show. Yeah, it's aspartame free as well, JD. Welcome, welcome, welcome to this hour-long minimum 4G streamed because the Wi-Fi is not working that well in the kitchen. So something's going on with my other camera. I'm not sure what. Now this is all going to be from memory because I've not written any notes and I've not done this for some time, but I'm confident if I have all the ingredients. The methodology will be written up later. Alright, let's get the prep going. So I haven't prepped anything yet. So one of the first things I should be doing, just needed for the mix of the meatballs, I finally chopped these babies up. And the quick way of doing that would be to use frozen onions, which I have got, but I'm going to take my time and it's all going to be freshly made, so I'm not sure which knife I'm going to use, which weapon. I'll probably use that one and one of these two to do the fine dicing. Do not buy one of these. The ones that look like this. This is a vegetable and potato chipper. It's that crap, when you put force on it, as you should, it bends out. It's almost like made from thin tin material. And as you can see, there's still blood on it because all of the edges are not been deburred. So if you see this on eBay or Amazon, don't bother buying one. You can hear how thin it is. So that's an off-topic top tip if you're thinking of getting one. They're like, I don't know, 20 bucks. It's unbranded and it's SH1T. That's what that is. So I nearly needed stitches from that the other day. Yeah. Exterminate. Nearly exterminated us. It was absolutely crazy. And they've sold hundreds and hundreds of them. I'm surprised there hasn't been more complaints. Right, I think I've run out of memory on my other camera. Who cares? I'm going to forget about that, I think. Let's have a look. Right. It's too flexible. Top tip for the onions, I think I mentioned it before, if you put this in the microwave for, I don't know, 10-15 seconds for this sort of size, and then cut it, you won't be so tearful. Not sure how that works, maybe it suppresses the spray. Let's get rid of the mess as we go along. Presentation, eh? Now, the benefits of brown onion for this dish is really the flavour, because I did consider using red or a combination of both. I want the strong flavours from this particular onion. It's nothing to do with the watery eyes. It tends not to bother me too much. I've got both windows open beside me, so. Now what I will do, the way I cut this to make it easier to dice by hand, is never cut right through to the edge. I want it all to stay together, but be 95% cut this way first. So you can see it keeps it together whilst you're chopping, which is handy, and then you just sort out that bit. So again, conscious that I just didn't slice it first as close as I should have done, but we shall see. Now that is the size really we should be looking at getting, because you're putting the meatballs together, and it depends on the size of the meatballs you're going to create as well, but you don't want this too big because it's harder to bind, which the other way we're going to bind the meat with these onions is using couscous, more of a filler really, to make the meat go further, so that saves a lot of money, because as you know, couscous is very cheap. This is whole wheat, and it's a fantastic alternative to rice and pasta. Good for the old beer waistline. Eat more healthily, drink more beer. But some of these bits that are bigger, we can just add that to the sauce, because we're going to be making the sauce as well. And we won't be using all of this onion in the meatball mix, which is what we've got the bowl for. Now, what you could do, two main meats that I use making these meatballs, I either use pork or beef, or a combination of both, which you can do as well. Today we're just going to use beef. I lied. Today we're going to be using pork. And it's very likely I will not use, now these are the prices I was telling you about, JD, before. It's £1.89, it was on offer the other day for £1.49. This is 12% fat, but we can burn that off. And what was I going to say about it? Yeah, we should probably only be using no more than a half of this, so 250 grams. It's just falling apart now, so I just got to watch the fingers. Yeah, I think we're going to make big meatballs. I think we'll do 6 big ones, I think. Medium to big size. Maybe 8 if I can get 8 out of it. We shall see. Now I'm going to this couscous needs prepping, so what I'll do is give this a good rinse. Now, that should be enough. Oh, spillage, first spillage everywhere. That's the sunstroke kicking in from yesterday. All over the floor, all over the sink, all over the worktop. No sugar if you cut off a finger. I've cleaned it and I wear it around my neck as a yes. Everyone else is watching football, JD. It's just me and you. Looks like the memory card's full on the other camera. Right. We want to be really putting in. There is some logic to this. The onions first. And I'm going to be making this in batches because I've only got a small bowl here.
You should have a look on your computer with your
Quick sweep of the floor because it feels like I'm treading in sand. From the beach yesterday, there's that much couscous I've tipped all over the floor. Right, now the egg ready, meat ready. I'm just judging this by what it looks and feels like. A common mistake is to put too much couscous in, too many large pieces of onion, and once you put the meat with it, the egg struggles to bind it all together because that's the first two factors I talked about there, the couscous and the onion. I should be just tearing the meat off in there. Now I've got three options really with the meatballs. Once this mix has been made up, we can pre-cook in the oven for literally 12-20 minutes tops. Can't remember the gas number. Medium to high. grill or shallow fry them, so they're quite well browned, and then I finish them off for 20 to 40 minutes, depending on how rich you want the sauce and how much you want it to come into itself. Before putting it into the sauce, which we'll be making at some point. Now you can see already the result of not having too much binding agent in there, and the binding agent we're going to use, because you're going to have really coarse meatballs otherwise and falling apart in the sauce later. It might look as if it's nice and sticky, but once it starts cooking and once the sauce is around it, you can see it's just going to break up. So this is why we need to add an egg. I just add the whole egg because I can, and I don't like waste, and I don't know why I keep on washing my hands. Probably because the feeling of it's not that clever. And already I'm seeing for certain that I need to put more in here. The majority of it's not. And the other thing that will help bind this is the Schwartz spice mix that I've got will also help. See, already we are now seeing it's quite sloppy, but much more sticky. That's far from what it's going to be looking like once it's finished, of course, but it'll come into itself in a moment. Additionally, we'll be adding to this mix some mixed herbs, which will also help bind it, and some hot chili, which is an optional depending on how spicy you do like it. Alright, so that's one batch there. Probably one and a bit, because I'm going to add more to that now. I want to be adding some mixed herbs with it now. Just for sprinkling. Most of this meatball mix will be going in the soup, the sauce. I'm just doing a sprinkling of it over the top. Hot chili. A good sprinkling of that. Because it's for Lung Derek, who you can hear probably in the background. And I'm going to add some hot paprika to it as well, even though I was going to leave that for the sauce. Sod it. And some whole black peppercorn. All this, of course, helps bind it up, bind it up, bind it up. And I still haven't decided if I'm going to... I think what I would do with this mix, I'm going to part cook them in under the grill, and then finish it off in the sauce for 30 to 40 minutes. Wow, this is really sticky, this mix now. You can see we like our onions, there's plenty of onions in it. And we've used, I guess, a third of the meat. That's the sort of size meatballs I want to get to. One, because they don't take too long then to cook. And it's a good 2-biter. So having at least 4 of those on somebody's dish is 8 bites plus the sauce, plus the rice or pasta, or whatever you choose to serve it with. That's a good size. So I haven't got the smallest hands, so I'd say that's getting on for, I don't know what, nearly 2 inches across at least. But you can make big ones like that if you wanted. Just have two big ones on a plate. Takes less prep as well then. So as I make those, that size, I'm going to set them aside on a small plate there for the moment. You're going to cook these for Mum and slip a couple of Valiums, you know. You can see now, you just do this with the one hand and they're very easy to put together. You'll get the odd bit of thick onion sticking out, so just peel that off because you don't want that infringing on the shape of a ball. It'll end up looking like a rugby ball or an American football ball, or Australian football there. Just talk amongst yourself, we can't do a live stream time lapse. So we've made 4 so far, so you can see how this mix really goes a long way really. As you can see, I've only used 1/3 of the pork. Wow, the biggest one was the first one. Conscious I have to keep looking back at what I've made, otherwise they either get smaller or completely different sizes. Not that it really matters. So that's 6, so I reckon I want to make 2 more. I'm not going to go down the road of using any more meat. Yes, I am, a little bit, because I need it. This last one. This one's going to have the least amount of spice on it, but it's going to have a lot of onion on it. Those large bits off. See, again, if you don't cut it fine enough, you have this problem of white binding, falling apart whilst cooking, and taking longer to make. Voila! More than enough for 2. There you go. That's 8 there, plenty. Once we've got the sauce, I think what we're going to do we're not going to have pasta, I think we're going to have basmati rice with this. There's that box, it's falling out the cupboard. Yeah, we're going to use basmati rice. Now it's not pure basmati rice, which is what I favour. This is basmati rice where the laws of this country dictate that if it doesn't say pure on the packet, then it only has to be, I believe, 36% basmati rice, but that brand is pretty good, and from what I can see, it's over 80% basmati rice in it. Washing the hands. We'll leave that for the sauce. So we're putting these ingredients here we've got left over from making the meatballs into the bowl. Just get it out of the way for now. And clear up this worktop a bit. Okay, JD, we're not going anywhere. Memory card full. So now we are going to it's clean enough. Grill these babies, turning them over halfway through. Oh, I love cooking. I love cooking. What we've got published already on the web page, not my web page. A lovely lady called Deborah Meaden's company who invited me along to give a day's MOT on their business a few years back. I've uploaded my Thai spicy meatballs recipe to the site, so if you want to take a look at that, by all means you can. That's mydish.co.uk, mydish.co.uk. Just do a search for Curry Master and you'll see 34 of my recipes on there. Indian, Thai, Mexican. Alright, I'm going to put that on a medium flamed grill. So I'm cooking on gas. And it's very quick. Now for the sauce mix. Now with the sauce mix, as any of you want to be existing and would be chefs and cooks know, is to keep tasting your sauce at least 2 or 3 times throughout the life of it being on the stove. So, given I know I want a lot of sauce, and to make my own sauce, I'm going to use a whole tin of Italian chopped tomatoes. You always tell when they're Italian ones because they're very deep red. Yummy, 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 yummy. So given that I am pre-cooking the meatballs under the grill rather, I will now not be using oil to shallow fry them, which is what I was going to do initially. Ignore that bread. Hasn't anything to do with it. Now freeze the meat. I'll put it in the fridge for later. Just to show you see the meatballs are already starting to brown off, although they still actually look a bit bland. But they are on a medium heat. I don't want to overcook them in the grill. I do want them to be crispy all around. Additionally, we're going to use that for decoration. This is a British girl's heat flavour. This is why it's being used for decoration. But what's going in to the sauce, which we're making, are 3 of these Thai lady peppers, which will be finely chopped. That's what's going to give it the heat, obviously, because this is just the spice mix without the heat. But they've just been taken out of the fridge. They were purchased fresh yesterday, and this is also going to be finely chopped for the sauce. Bell pepper, capsicum pepper. Some people don't even realise there's no real heat to this, although those that do not like spicy hot at all will maybe still find that a little bit of a kick for them, but very rare you find someone like that. Right. I just want to roll these over and make sure they're getting a good innings under the grill. You see it's still a little bit pink on that one. Already feeling a little crispy to the touch. That's really what I want. I want a quite crusty outer layer, soft on the inside but not too soft. Back under the grill. You back this, JD? Let's avoid sticky fingers and use a spoon to do the mix. This is the sauce mix we're coming back to. Bring back the chopping board. This is how, many people have got different ways on how to prepare these. This is how I was always looking for what is the quickest way of preparing these, because what does preparing mean first? Well, one, deciding on how big you want the pieces in your dish. Do you want slices? Do you want it finely chopped? Well, Long Derek, he likes it finely chopped, so we're going to finely chop this, but we need to obviously de-seed it and take that out. And my way is watching your fingers, little slice in the top, and I just break it open like that. Usually it stays in one half, then I can grab that out in one. Done. And taking out maybe a bit more of this pith because it can be quite bitter. That's all the white stuff. So that's, I find, the quickest way of getting it out in one go. Top tip number 2. Alright, let's chuck that in the bin. Now, because we want it finely chopped, it's difficult to finely chop it like that. So, taking a medium-sized knife, I'm going to level it out a bit so it's not so curved. Okay, I'll try and keep it all together at the end. It keeps it together when I start chopping in a moment. Show you that again. So that's quite thick. We want it smaller than that. Not forgetting the meatballs. Right, I've got to show you these meatballs, they're looking sweet. Come back to this in a minute. This is the sort of thing you want to be getting them to. I don't know how good the light is on that for you, but nice crispy around the edge. And they start like sweating. The juices are starting to bubble up out of them now. They're pretty much good. I'm going to roll them over again back to the original position. So I want them a little bit more crispy on the other side. Literally 2 minutes, if that, under the grill. And then they're ready for going in the sauce. Oh, and the smell is awesome. Right, already good. Well happy with them.
Watch on laptop in the bedroom. You watch on the laptop if you sleep on it.
Alright, let's just watch my finger time now.
Then she'll read the laptop.
Right. Slicing the capsicum up, and then chopping it to the desired consumer's requirement. Finely chopped. I'll eat them as long as they're finely chopped, he said. Every time I visit him, I end up cooking. I don't mind at all. I don't like cooking for one. 2 to 4 is good. 6, yeah. 8, bit of a push. Right. I don't know if you can hear those, probably not. But they are perfect for placing in the sauce now. So they're coming out of the grill and they're just going to rest on the top for the moment until the sauce is ready. And then I'll give you an indication as to when we'll be placing those into the sauce to finish cooking. How far are we in? 41 minutes already. Oh, you're retracting your messages. Welcome, Archie. How's it going? Was your message auto retracted? Was your double entendres too strong? Answers on a postcard. Right. Because Long Derek is so fussy with eating these as well, what I'm going to be doing is softening these, because if they're crunchy it puts him off, would you believe? So what you can do with that, if you're cooking for somebody like that, microwavable mug, cup, whatever, just pile it all in. And I'm going to whiz it in an 800 watt oven, microwave oven, for 1.5 minutes with a little bit of water at the bottom. Filtered. Just literally a tablespoon max of water. Oh. Covered. So I'm going to cover that. Stick that in the microwave. So that will go on for 1.5 minutes shortly once the sauce starts. Now we are getting the hot Thai lady peppers, chilies, prepared now. Now some people like to de-seed these. I don't. I will top them, of course. Again, I'll eat them, he says. I want the heat. I don't want to be eating or chewing the chili. So we are finally chopping them to go in the dish. And there's 3 of them there already. Just chuck those stalks in the bin. They're good for the compost in the garden. And they can go in the mix now already. We've already got the Italian tomatoes in there and the onion. I'm putting those hot lady type chilies in there, including the seeds. Okay, so we've put the saucepan on gas. We're getting ready for this sauce mix, which doesn't look too much at the moment, but it will be enough, I hope. Fingers crossed. So let's spin you around so you can see what's going on in this pot. This saucepan. Oh, bear with me. So we're using a medium-sized saucepan. The magic of television. I'd like to get you a little bit higher actually, so let's put you on a box, because I unfortunately broke my telescopic tripod the other day. It's going in this one. There we go. Never leave the spoon inside the saucepan, as Pat Chapman taught me. We're not cooking the wood. Now that's going to go up to medium, and we're also going to put the rest of the Schwartz meatball mix into this, as we're cheating a little bit again today. Now what I tend to do is lightly sprinkle it all over the top and then mix it in before using all of it. So I don't want clumps of flavour, I want the flavour to go throughout. And given it's not a hot mix, once more, now with this I want to put a bit more black pepper. By the way, pepper will typically bring out the heat more, black pepper and in any cheese that you put in. Mix again. Everybody see that okay? Now I'm going to be adding the meatballs, which we've already prepared and pre-cooked, into their little jacuzzi of sauce. God, my hand is so burnt. It's actually gone swollen as well. Oh, wow, that's the air show yesterday, and today it's raining. Tastic's balls are going into the jacuzzi now, and I'm going to be stirring that up shortly, making a noise at the same time, and not forgetting we've already used some of this mix within the meatballs, but again now I'm going to give them a dusting of the balance. Now the sauce is very thick. We don't want it to be like that just yet, because it's going to be working into itself for 40 minutes tops. So now banging a few plates together, we're going to be putting 125 ml of filtered water in there, cold water. And just gently pour that into the mix. Perfect. It's nearly beer o'clock. Has anybody opened one yet? Oh, I want to dive right in now, but I know it's not good. So those balls in there, those Tastic spicy meatballs, are not going to come apart. They are awesomely bound by the mixture you saw being made earlier, and then sealed under the grill. Oh, the smell, the aroma. I'm getting excited. But we're going to heat that up to boiling, and then quickly bang straight down to simmer. And on a smaller flame as well. Don't feel that you could just put this large flame up to simmer, it'd be too much for it. And once it's boiled and put on the simmer, then that's when it will be first tasted as a sauce to see what you feel might need to be added, i.e. more black pepper. So we're talking about the seasoning to taste now. Do we put more chili hot powder in there? Do we put more hot paprika? But the thing we will be putting in there is low calorie sweetener, aspartame free. And we do that to counteract the tartness of the tomato. Okay, let's get this taste tested before we move it. One more final stir before testing the sauce. Oh my gosh, it's so... We need smelly vision. It's got to come out one day. Okay, here we go. Wow. Oh, very oniony. Lots of onion taste. Yeah. Now we're going to do a good dusting of sweetener. Not MSG. An alternative, which I've used very often, is a good honey. Now, I'm not talking Manuka 3500 or whatever rating, but a good tasting honey. And that really comes through well with the sauces. Clean spoon. Oh gosh, that's doing it for me. May need some more chili powder towards the end, but it certainly doesn't need any more sweetener. I'm keeping out the hot chili powder and the hot paprika for the moment, and the black pepper. I may add to it in about 20 minutes, but now that's going to be there. I think that we're going to just do this for 30 minutes, so you're more than welcome to stay. I'll leave the camera on streaming it. You can watch it to your heart's content. I am actually sweating completely in this kitchen. There's no fan and there's no aircon. Not yet. And I shall come back to it and you guys in 15 minutes, because then I'll be putting on the basmati rice and I'll be preparing for the garnish for it. But first of all, I need to put the lid on. Find the right lid, yeah, and I'll be putting it on a different heat, a different ring of gas to simmer very slowly, and get rid of this broken Thai voice you can hear in the background. There will be no music. I'm going to try and monetize this one. now that they finally approved it. Right, let's get it on the lowest, which is the one at the back on the right. I'll be turned right down, and I shall come back to that in 15 minutes. So let's get you over there to watch it at your heart's content, and I shall see you in a quarter of an hour or so. See my shadow, my reflection. This could be the most boring 15 minutes for you, I'm afraid. Sure it's centre. Okay, see you shortly, 15 minutes. Tastic spicy meatball. Very nice. Spicy. Okay, good. No problem. Well,
Put your air conditioner on. We put your hide in it now, hello. Yeah, you will come in.
it smells weird.
You will come with me, you like.
It's alright. It's only looking at the pot. Didn't realise it had frozen, sorry. No, everybody's gone now.
Oh, there?
Yeah.
Oh, is that like hell?
Only 2 people watching in the end. It's only going to fall that way, be alright. It's steady.
Oh, it's gone now, isn't it?
No.
3 thumbs up, oh, one back.
I've got to sweep up. Couscous went everywhere. I've got to taste it.
What you said, right?
Yeah, once. Oh, look at that. 6 meatballs. Sorry guys, I didn't realise it had frozen.
You are.
I want to taste it.
No, I don't taste it. I taste it when it's just out. Cooked it right, so I know it's already.
Got to do that now. And once the rice is done, that's done. Yeah, I think that's done. Whoa, that's nice. Quite sweet. Because this is medium, very medium. Just use that to decorate on top. There's one. I'm going to have a can as well, sod it.
Oh,
Eh? I know, I'm going to have one and then go. Do the rice and then I'm off. Cheers, Robert. Oh, so it tastes awesome. I don't need to add anything. And you can see these babies are still nice and crispy on the edge outside. And they're going to have another 15 minutes in here. So you're very loyal, sticking around watching a pot bubbling away there. But now the rice is going to go on. So we're going to have a little bit of a noise from rinsing the rice. And the obligatory, I'll let you guess what you might think this is. But that's going to be going down very nicely in a moment. Wash some glasses up, running out pint glasses. Cheers, guys. Cheers. Oh, that is going down too well. Right. Rice. Found the rice. Found the colander. Boil the kettle. Rice ready for the boiling water. Basmati rice. Guess what we forgot? We forgot to put in, and it doesn't matter because it would have been maybe overcooked if I'd have put them in any earlier, but the red capsicum pepper. So that should be going in as soon as it's been steamed in the microwave. And the other thing I would have liked to have put in there which is definitely missing, is the coriander. Coriander goes really well with the meatball mix. Excuse me. And I've got some freshly frozen coriander in the freezer, which I forgot to take out. But that's something to bear in mind, which will be on the recipe and methodology list once I put that together. Okay, so these were finely chopped earlier and now steamed. In fact, I think there's probably too much juice in this, so let me bear with me, I'll get rid of the juice. There we go. I'm going to add Right. Now for the rice. Now always remember, because it is common to forget, with the rice, within literally 30 seconds of adding it to water, make sure you give it a good stir, because it will stick. It tends to, regardless of the quality of the rice and regardless of how much you sieve it as well. You can already see starch coming off of it, but this will stop it sticking. It has to be done no later really than a minute after adding the water to the rice, because it will stick. And then do it again within a couple of minutes just to reassure yourself it's not sticking. Nearly forgot the peppers, Robert, nearly forgot it. Hey Thunder GT, long time no see, how are you doing? I'm not sure how much phone charge I've got left. Bear with me, I'm just going to check. Yeah, Thunder, they'll be coming back. Lots been happening this end. I'm still trying to push out at least a video a week on Thailand. Haven't noticed as it takes the time. I always try and do something different or better. I'm even spending in recent videos up to 12 hours on them to produce 12 minutes, if not less. And Mickey Mau Mau is not always with us either, so I'm going to try that now it's got the peppers in. So he does love being on camera, does Mickey Mau Mau. Yeah, these are not very exciting, are they, Thunder GT, these cooking ones? Hey guys, look at this. Every home should have one. Try and do that against your head. Dear. Good, I'm glad you like it. Good, good. This one. R2D, Right, we're back to using Wi-Fi instead of 4G now, so I don't know. Apologies, it keeps cutting out. The rice is almost done. 30 seconds left. Perfect timing because we are running out of battery. Now, the request has been basmati rice today. The option was wholemeal pasta or spaghetti. Wholemeal spaghetti would have been good. I'm cooking for others and I've given them their choice. Yeah, or you could skewer these up. Yep, we're having it with rice, basmati rice. Lovely. That's done now, that's done. Right, we're going to sieve that off. Right, top tip on the rice, do not leave it on a plate, do not leave it in the sieve for too long. It will get sticky, it'll turn into sticky rice, particularly at the bottom because the air's not getting through, there's too much steam, and it carries on trying to cook itself, so really fork it through. Now the ideal thing is I've got to, with this type of rice that I've got here, is to sieve it again with boiling water, which I'm just about to do, and then that's going to go on a big plate and it's going to be aired a little and forked through again and then served up. So bear with me. They sieve on the ingredients. Okay, so looks dirty, but it's not. Turmeric in the water. Oh yeah, you like a yellow coloured rice. Chicken stock for your rice. Good, top tip. Right, we're going to do the garnish, which is a British girl pepper. It's medium, not a Thai pepper. So this is just going to be used for garnish. We're going to leave the seeds in because we're hard, and it's a British girl pepper, i.e. medium heat, thinly sliced. There's not that many. All the seeds are at the end by the looks of things. Right. Plate. Never use a cold plate. You warm it up first. This is the serving plate now. I'm going to fork some rice off onto this. This is where we will start getting really hungry now and pickish. I'm going to make a volcano. Right, I need names for the volcano. Mount Vesuvius. What's a little more? Now for the meatballs. Oh yes, bellissimo. Bit more juice. Oh, fit for a king. That is too huge of a portion. But how's it looking, guys? And I usually there you go, make it look a bit poncy. Let's get a bit more light on it. Thank you for joining me. 92 minutes for those that were marathoning it with me. Thank you very much. It tastes absolutely awesome, and that is ready to rock and roll. So thank you so much for joining me in the comments, and yeah, oh yeah, see you later guys, thank you very much.